All right, ready. I'm going to make a couple initial review videos on some items I just received, but my first video is going to be kind of like a little bit of a rant. It's actually going to be a comparison between two, smaller companies and how their customer service works. I've mentioned both companies. I've been purchasing from one of the companies for a while, and I just started with the other company. The first one I'll talk about is the one with a great customer service, and it's a very small company out of Pennsylvania, United States, and they are metal workers. They're called Studebaker Metals, and they're known for their cuffs. They also make rings and various necklaces and stuff, but I was really turned on to them through the different heavy metal cuffs that they make. I was looking for specifically a real nice heavy patinaed copper or brass cuff to have some customization done to it, and they were more than happy to help me out. I ended up buying two for myself, and I got my wife one, that matching one. And the first one here is copper. As you can see, this was custom made. Let me back up a little bit to the customer service. Their sizes go up to about a 7.5 inch wrist, and then they will customize them up to 6 characters. So I immediately emailed them and said, hey, my wrist is actually 8.5 inches, and I'm looking to get some coordinates put on one of them, or both of them, or all of them actually. And they told me what sizes they could do that with, because it obviously had to be a little wider than some of the ones they had. But they said, yeah, sure, we'll do whatever you need us to do. So I ended up ordering 2 for myself. I'm a sucker for copper and brass. Obviously, the patina's up nice. The ones I got, they'd already been patinaed, which is cool. But they actually made it to the size of my wrist as well. So it's awesome. So the first one I have here, this is patinaed copper. As you can see, it's thick, but not super thick. You can't see on it, but they did place the coordinates, very small font on it. And when I wear these, I got to actually open them up a little bit, and then I place it so that on my inside of my wrist, I can actually read the coordinates right side up. So that's very cool. To be honest with you, I haven't worn the copper one yet because I'm so in love with the brass one. Now this one is sized right to my wrist. Like, I can't just pop this thing off. I'd have to open it up and slide it off. I don't like it like going up and down my wrist, so it is form-fitting to my wrist right now. But this one's a little wider, as you can see. If I put them next to each other, there we go. Let me flip it around so that you can see that. This one is a little more narrow. It's thicker than this one, but this one is actually wider. And this is they actually almost look the same color. I mean, this has a little more of a pinkish hue for the copper, but the brass one is just wide enough. I don't want these big oversized huge cuffs. Like, this almost blends into my arm. It's more for me than anything anyway. It's not really worn for other people to really notice. It's more just for me, and it's got the coordinates of my camp on it. But can't say enough about this company. These are really high quality. Knocked them out. They basically are made to order. And like I said, they went ahead and broke their rules for me, made an oversized one, and then put all the extra lettering, numbers and letters in there for the coordinates. And couldn't be happier. Definitely I've already suggested them to some other family members that are going to be doing similar things. But yeah, if you like that cuff style, just real heavy duty, and you want something on it maybe that's personalized, means something to you, I definitely check out Studebaker Metals. You can find them online, just Google them. And I think it's like a little mom and pop organization, so they get right back to you. Like typically when you email a company, you expect maybe to hear back from them in a few days. Like it was like a Friday night, and I heard back from them that night, which is very impressive to me, because I know that if I'm working and I get work emails over the weekend, I do not respond. But yeah, anyway, again, this is the positive of the small business. Now, the second business, I can't knock them on their quality. From all the different companies I've tried, for the price point, their quality is spot on. I am not dissing their quality. It's their customer service. It really sucks. And I have a saying, and I feel like I say it many times a day, but I say this, I say stupid should be painful. There should be a lot of people walking around the world just going ow all day long because they're so freaking stupid. And that takes me back to the customer service. So the second company I'm talking about is Clocks and Colors. They're technically, I guess, out of Canada. But I'm not gonna hold that against them. I love my friends up in Canada. I've ridden my Harley up through Canada. It's beautiful up through there. But the whole point is it's a small business. And what they make is this heavy sterling silver. You can get it, and what I really like about it is you can get it inlaid with brass, and it really patinas up nice. And like on my big old hands, this stuff is significant, and that's hard to find. And oftentimes, like here's another one. It's my devil. Oh, it's got the brass inlays. A lot of companies will cut corners. It might be silver, but they'll hollow it out at the top here to take a little weight out of it, so it's less silver. I mean, it appears to be more silver than it is, but these are all completely solid silver. Like they've got a lot of heft to them, and they've really patinaed up over time. So I got a few of their rings. They do make all brass. Like this is the nautical star. This one is a pinky ring for me, but nice and heft. It's got a lot of heft to it. I love just how it's patinaed up over time. So that's a few of the rings I have from them. Well, I wanted to get a couple of their necklaces, So I was on there the other day, and I found two. And this is the first one I found. Again, this is the nautical star. This is sterling silver with the brass inlaid star. Their necklaces are actually a stainless steel, and then the clasp is also sterling silver, but I actually prefer the stainless steel over silver. Silver chains will break. It's a softer metal, obviously, so I don't mind. Actually, I prefer the fact that the chain is a stainless steel. And I've been wearing this guy every day since I bought it. And, their measurements are in centimeters. And get to the whole issue that I had, my assumption was that since this is all heavy duty jewelry made for bikers or whatever, that it'd be oversized. Everything would be just bigger, like the chains would be bigger. And this, this is probably, I don't know how many centimeters it is, but it's probably like 24, 25 inches. So my neck itself is over 20 inches. So it hangs down to about right here, which is totally fine. So this one was perfect. I ordered another one that's called the Plague, which basically it's a sterling silver pendant that's inlaid with brass of like a skull looking thing. It just looked really cool. And then it had the stainless steel chain, but then it also, the clasp was brass, and it looked pretty cool. But the problem with it was I could not get it even halfway around my neck, like to even clasp it. It was dinky. Like this was like girls' jewelry. I mean, it had a big old pendant like this, but it wouldn't even fit around my neck. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'd remember reading on their site that you could return or exchange things within like 7 days. So I just got it. So I went on the website, and I consider myself smarter than the average bear. I mean, I'm no genius, but I'm pretty good at figuring shit out. And I was going through their automated return exchange system, and there is no place where you can pick a new item. So what I did was, in the notes bottom, I put in, I would like to return. They ask you a million times why you're returning. I'm like, it's too freaking small. Can't get it around my neck. And in the note section, I said, I want to exchange this one for this one, right? Because I noticed, well, first off, let me back up. I call them. No answer. Call them again. No answer. So finally, I email them. I get, to their credit, I do get an email right back. And I'm like, hey, I'd like to exchange this necklace. Well, actually, I didn't say that first. I'm like, I'd just like to get a longer chain. I like the pendant, the necklace, the chain itself is too short. And I get a response back within the hour. It says, oh, thank you for your concern. You can follow these directions to return your item. Well, I don't want to return the item. I want to keep the pendant. I want to get a longer chain. They sell chains individually. How they even send it to you, the pendant's in a little bag and the chain's in a little bag. Well, after going back and forth, thinking that I'm speaking pretty plainly, it's my understanding that the chains and the pendants are sold as a team. You can't get one without the other. So if you want that pendant, you got to get the girl size necklace, which to me is ridiculous. You should be able to get any size chain that they make. I mean, they obviously make bigger chains. Why can't I return the chain, keep the pendant, you send me back a different size chain? No. Each pendant and chain are different lengths. And if you want, a man-sized chain, well, you're shit out of luck if you want certain pendants, which to me is like, it's completely stupidity. But anyway, so at the end of the day, I cannot have that pendant anymore. Woe is me. So it's not in the cards for a man, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so I go on, this takes me to returning it. So I'm online trying to return it, and there's no spot where you can actually pick a new item. So I put in the little notes box, I want to return this plague pendant and chain for it's called Old Salt. It's another sterling silver pendant, but it has some really cool turquoise with like black in it. I have another one of their rings. It's, I never thought I'd like turquoise, but when you add the sterling silver and it's kind of like patina, it does look pretty cool. So I went in, and the chain was longer, so I went with that route. So they send you a shipping label, but then they deduct the price of it from your return. So now I'm down $7 for returning this thing. So return it. A week later, yesterday, I get a new package in the mail from Clocks and Colors. I'm thinking, yes, I got my new necklace and pendant. I open it up. It's the same fucking pendant that I mailed back to them. So they opened the package and then stuck the exact same thing in another package and sent it back to me. Really? So I email them. I'm like, hey, return this because it was too small. Got the same fucking thing back in the mail. Get the same email. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you for letting us know. What's that even mean? Letting us know. I don't want this thing. I can't wear it. So then I'm at the end of my fucking rope by this point. So I email them back. I'm like, what do I do? What do you think? I get if you'd like to return your item, here is the link to starting your return. So it's like this big fucking circle. It's like whoever they have set up to do their customer service is a freaking moron. Or they just don't give a fuck. I don't know which one it is. But then I found another avenue. I went on site, and they have a little text box that pops up. So I'm like, hey, please help me. What do I do? Because I like your stuff, but if this continues, I'm never buying a piece of your jewelry ever fucking again. So this person, texts me back in the little text box, and they send me a link. And in the link, it has a little form that I fill out, and I put it in the return bag, and it says, why are you returning? Why are you exchanging? What are you exchanging? And what would you like to exchange it for? Wow. So I fill it out. You're supposed to fold it up, put it in there. Again, I have to print out another label, which will be deducted from the price of my previous purchase. So I'm going to mail that back to them today, and I'm going to cross my fingers that they get it right the second time. So that's my story. So I run into this shit all the time. Why can't it be as simple as like Studebaker Metals, where they're just like, sure, what do you need us to do? We're here to serve you. You're giving me money. I'm going to give you a product. And I know that this is a custom, a lot of people want customized shit. We'll do it. And now I've already told a bunch of people, and I know I've already given them a bunch of business. Clocks and Colors, on the other hand, I'm going to give them one more try. If they don't get it right this time, I'll keep the necklace, but I will never purchase anything from them ever again. And I will let everyone know that I actually do know, not to buy from them. So we'll see. So anyway, that's my little bit of a rant. It's a little over 15 minutes, which is par for the course. So there you go. I'm going to make another video here in a minute about a couple of my purchases. So if you've been watching, thanks, and I'll catch you later.